Hello there, everyone. Patricia Hayes here. How are you today? It is Networking Wednesday. Y'all know what that means. Let's see what you've been doing. Make sure and share in the chat because I'm always curious to know what people are doing for their Networking Wednesdays. I've learned by accident that more people follow and are taking action than I realize. So share with me what it is you're doing for connecting with your professional networks and relationships today and this week. Meanwhile, it is time for our coffee time career chat, the networking edition, where we're going to be talking about gratitude and your network this month for the next few weeks, because I think it's really important. So before we get started, for those of you who are joining for the first time, my name is Patricia Hayes. I am an executive advisor, empowerment coach, and authentic networking strategist, which means I love working with people who are ready to take things to the next level in their careers and their businesses and know the importance of leveraging your professional relationships to make that change happen. So glad to be here talking about gratitude. This is the month where we're always talking about Thanksgiving and all of that stuff, but let's take it in a slightly different, realm and talk about it in terms of real impact with the people that you work with, that you engage with on a regular basis, or maybe not so regular, right? But you really do need to know that they are, have them know that they are appreciated. So we're going to be talking about that in several different ways over the next few weeks and give you hopefully a little more insight on how you can show gratitude to those in your professional relationships and your professional networks. And to do so on a regular basis, because the consistency of doing so is what is really, really so important. So today we're just like, how many ways can we say thanks, right? Is that giving a little bit of Shakespearean? How many ways? How many ways can we say thank you? And the reality is there are just like the ways are so many, they can't be numbered truly. But the thing is, you can get overwhelmed when you're not being specific, when you're not being thoughtful or direct. So I'm going to encourage you to do what? Write it down. If you write down just a few of the ways that you can engage with your professional network regularly and let them know that you appreciate them, even if you repeat them over and over again, utilizing 5 or 6 strategies will help you to stay connected. So utilizing 5 or 6 of the same strategies is way better than 0, and definitely can be just as effective as using dozens that you may forget about. And there are just so many ways. So one of the things I always say is creativity is so important. You don't have to do the same thing everyone else does. Literally, my husband and I were just talking about this the other day with regard to some activity where someone had to go get a gift to show appreciation for someone who had been around in a particular community thing for so long, and how the person went and got something that seemed pretty generic to say thank you. And yes, is it the thought that counts? Sure. But how about let's be a little more creative about it, right? Let's not take the lazy man's way out when it comes to showing your appreciation for people, because it's real easy to go, get the, I don't know what it is, just go get something generic, write thank you on it and send it off. But what if you start, what if you think about doing something that's much more personalized? That's getting into being thoughtful as well, right? Doing something that may seem a little silly, but it's memorable. I love being creative when it comes to gift giving, to saying thank you. That's like always been my thing. It was like, I never want to do things just the regular old way. Like, I'm actually annoyed when I I don't have enough time to go put the proper thought into it. So I have to send a thank you card. And that annoys me, right? I was like, you're so special. But even then, like my thank you cards generally are not like, I don't go buy thank you cards. I make my own. So even then, I'm still being somewhat creative in the process and not doing something that's the norm. Everybody can't do that. I know it. I get it. But the point is to think outside the box and to be share, to share in a meaningful way, because people really do appreciate it way more than you think. Speaking of thinking, I love a thoughtful gift, a thoughtful thank you, something that really means you are paying attention to who I am as a person, what I enjoy, what I like or don't like. And when you bring that to me, that can mean way more than even the most, quote, expensive gift. Just because you spend a lot of money on a gift or something to say thank you does not mean it's necessarily, quote, the best gift, right? Again, it's all about how people are valuing things, and that's fine. But I think even the average person is impressed just by the fact that you thought of them, especially if it's something that they like. So I know people are being thoughtful for me when they send me something that's like the color purple, because it's my favorite color, something coffee related, because they know my obsession with coffee. That involves paper or books or whatever, all of those things. Where the average person might be tired of getting a journal as a gift, I'm like, oh my God, another journal, more paper. And that comes from knowing your people, right? We're going to talk about that the next couple of weeks. But it really matters to be thoughtful when you're reaching out to people. And again, it's not about how much is spent, how much you do, but it is about how much thought you put into it, and then letting people know that you're thinking of them. Here's the thing. If your schedule has been crazy, if you have been sick, I mean, I've been sick a lot. So there are a lot of things I normally would do that I haven't been. But if someone knows that and you still reach out and say, hey, just want to let you know I was thinking about you today, someone will recognize that because they know that, right? People value when you take a moment out of your day to acknowledge their presence, to acknowledge who they are, where they are, what they're doing. Okay. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be, this billboard announcement. It can literally be a note attached to a text saying, I was thinking about you today. I hope all is well. Let me know the next time we can, catch up for a chat. Because sometimes that's literally all we can get out. I've had those moments, where I really want to do so much more, but I can't. So instead of doing nothing, do something, even if it seems small. Okay. And we've talked a little bit about being innovative when it's kind of, it's kind of the flip or a similar vein of being creative. Think outside the box, right? Think outside the box. That's really what we're talking about when you're talking about being innovative, when you are showing how much you care and how much you want to say thank you. That's really what you're talking about. When you are being grateful for the people who are involved in your professional world, in your business world. There are different levels of saying thank you, of how, personal something may be based on how well you've known them, how long you've known them. But the important thing is always just, getting that out there by doing the thing, by saying the thing, right? But what I want you to do and highly suggest you to do is take a time right now over the course of the next few days and write down 10 ways you can say thank you to the people in your network, right? And then I want you to actually follow up and say thank you 10 ways, right? Whether it's a handwritten note, they are not foreign, and you would be amazed at how appreciative people still are of the handwritten note. Yes, you can send a text, but what if you send a lovely little picture thinking of you along with it, right? If you send up make a phone call, oh my gosh, we have these things called phones that are used for everything but making phone calls these days. So imagine the shock if you actually call someone for a change. Send them, a gift card to their favorite restaurant, saying, hey, hope you're having a great day. Here's a little something, go get you some munchies. Again, something, maybe sending them some treats from one of their favorite, dessert places. If you live in Central Texas or Texas period, people knows when that Tiff's treat box shows up at your door, you're like dancing because it's full of goodies, and that little, blue and white ribbon in that box, you're like happy. I know, you see, I'm like so excited just at the thought of it. There are so many different ways. I don't know. I lost track of how many I got up to just then. But all of those things matter, right? Another way that you can say thank you to folks in your network is to do something for them, right? So if you know someone's running short on time and they haven't been able to go, do a thing or check in with someone, do it for them. How novel is that, right? Go do something for them that they wish that they could do and hadn't had a chance to do. All right. This is the time of the year that we dedicate to saying thank you, being thankful. But how about we show it and do it for those in our professional circles, and build it up as a practice of something to do all year round. And that's why I'm encouraging you to write it down, to write down those different ways, because this is something, once you do it, you can do it all year round, every day, right? Just like I encourage you to reach out to 3 to 5 people a week when it comes to connecting and reconnecting with your network, you can incorporate that saying thank you into that as well. Right? If you're saying thank you to somebody once a week when you're doing your reach out and your connections, guess how many that adds up to? 1 per week is 52 people in a year. That's like nothing. Okay? It's next to nothing. But how impactful can that be in someone's world? All right? Reaching out to someone you haven't talked to in a really long time, to say, hey, we haven't talked in a while. We haven't connected, but I want to let you know, I really appreciate everything you've done for me over time. All of that. I had a conversation with my son this weekend in terms of that, about how there are people who are impacting your life right now today that you don't even recognize or think about, but that down the road, as you progress in your academic career, your athletic career, in his college career, that he's going to want and need to say thank you to. He's going to want, he's going to remember the impact they've had on his life, and that it's going to be important to acknowledge that at the right and appropriate time. Okay. So sometimes it's just doing it. I know recently attending a parent booster club meeting, and there were coaches there. And I just, told a couple of coaches, privately, I'm like, hey, thanks for everything you do. And one of them really was like, what? Like, that's my job? I'm like, yeah, but everybody doesn't do their job. The truth of the matter is, everybody don't always do their job. So tell them thank you. Someone can be, really blessed and impacted well by you just opening your mouth and sharing your appreciation for what it is that they are doing right now today. All right. And it seems repetitive. This is not going to be some long drawn out coffee chat. This is a quickie today. It's just kind of like, go write down the ways you can say thank you to people in your network, and then go do it. That's the assignment. Write down 10 ways to say thank you, and then go tell 10 people thank you over the course of the next month. That's it. That's what I got this week. All right. I'm looking forward to sharing more with you over the course of the next few weeks. We're going to talk about other ways to dive deeper into saying thank you and showing gratitude to your network, which are going to include knowing the needs of your network and what you can do in order to be able to get to that next level of depth, of anticipating those needs, right? That's again taking some extra effort to actually know your people. And then finally, showing up for them, actually showing up for people when they need you, and how you can show up for people in different ways, and how that shows gratitude to them as well. So that's what you get to look forward to when it comes to Networking Wednesdays over the course of the next few weeks. I hope you have a fantastic day. Let me know how you are connecting with your people today and this week. And I wish you all the best. Take care and talk soon. Bye-bye.